Well, I don't know how you follow up the game of the week last week. That was just an awesome game, but I think we've got a pretty good one on tap for you tonight. Maple Mountain visits Skyview, and the Bobcats, you know, they have a lot of preseason hype. They've been picked to finish high in their region. They've got a very young team, but they have some key players coming back, and they gave a tough Timpview team everything they could handle in Provo last week.
Well, they had a shot really to win that game, and that is a very tough game. Timpview's a fantastic team, and they should really feel good about how they played last week. And now home, they should play really well against Maple Mountain.
Yeah, they felt like they left some points on the field last week, and they lost by 6, so they're looking to really keep that going again this week against a Maple Mountain team that finished 9-1 last year, so it doesn't get any easier for the Bobcats. Braxton Goddard really makes this team go. We'll be excited to see him tonight. So the game of the week is coming up on the Valley Channel next. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing the new Proform TDF Centennial. The only training bike that inclines and declines, rides anywhere in the world, and measures your energy output. With Google Street View and a 7-inch touchscreen, draw your map and ride every tour stage or anywhere in the world. The TDF responds to terrain changes with a full 20% incline, 20% decline. An integrated advanced power meter measures your exact watts. And silent magnetic resistance means the training bike making all the noise in the cycling world sounds like this. You can't train like this on any other bike. Call or go online today to get the Proform TDF Centennial with 0 down plus free upgrade to rush shipping.
It's the home opener for the Skyview Bobcats as they host Maple Mountain on the game of the week, and it's brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. The Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes, live, work, play, and celebrate. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Alpine Cleaning and Restoration Specialist, we respond, we restore, you relax. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. So hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. I'm Eric Olson. Alongside me is Lee Vaughn, and we are in Smithfield at Skyview High School. Maple Mountain visiting the Skyview Bobcats. Both of these teams losing in their opener last week, and Skyview losing an exciting one against a very tough Timpview team. I kind of teased Coach Ander a little bit and said, hey, gosh, that's the greatest defense ever assembled, and you kind of showed that you could score on them, but not taking away anything from that Timpview defense. He said, don't joke, they were good.
Well, they were good, and Skyview came up just a little bit short, 34-28, but that will help them in this week coming into another good offensive team in Maple Mountain.
We'll talk about Maple Mountain in just a moment, but first let's hear from Coach Ander as Lee Vaughn spent a few moments with him just a short time ago.
Coach, your team played great last week against Timpview, came up a little short, but I'm sure you learned a lot from that game. Tell me what you learned.
Why'd you have to bring that up? We're trying to move on. We learned a lot. We learned our kids can be tough. We didn't back down to anybody. We battled the whole game. We learned that we can move the ball on a very good defense. And we also learned some things that we need to fix, offensively, defensively, and special teams. So that's why you play a first game, is so you can get out, learn some things. We're glad it's a preseason game. And just the last thing I'll say about Timpview is we can't wait to play them next time.
Okay, now let's look ahead to this week, playing Maple Mountain, a good team. They put up some great points as well last week. What have you been practicing this week to get ready for this game?
Defensively, we've been preparing for a very athletic quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a returning starter. and he kind of makes their offense roll. Offensively, they like to send the blitz. At least they did last week versus Woods Cross. So we prepared for the blitz. We've got some audibles in that Braxton will turn to when he sees certain blitzes that we think we could take advantage of what they're giving us.
Talk to me about your team and really who surprised you last week, who you're looking for this week, and give me a quick injury report.
Well, that's a long question there. Jeez. You know what? I wasn't necessarily surprised last week because I've been able to be with these kids every single day. Obviously, Braxton played phenomenal at quarterback, and the O-line did a great job. Our defense was very tough and physical. And so, we've been seeing those things. Injury report, we still got a few guys out, but we got a few guys back, which we're excited about. Ian Clark hurt himself in the first series last week, but the person he was starting for, Colton Durant, will be back. And so we're glad for that, and sad Ian's not going to be there. And then we also got a couple other guys that are out, but I think we're back on track. We don't have so many guys standing on the sideline this week, which is nice.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Well, Coach Anders happy to have some guys back this week. They said they had a lot of kids sitting last week in that exciting game against Timpview, and they're glad to welcome some of them back this week.
Yeah, he said he had 5 out to start and 1 more out immediately after the first series. So you're right, getting a few guys back this week will help them a lot. And they'll get, this preseason, even though the games all count, it's still not region yet. So you got to get them some playing time and really get the rhythm. So when you hit region, you're running full stride. 9th
year for Coach Anders. 7 out of 8 of the previous years they've gotten to the playoffs. 54-36. It's an overall record for Coach Ander. We weren't able to catch up with Coach Burtonshaw. He was in the locker room getting ready for that game. He's in his 4th year at Maple Mountain. Maple Mountain has been a school for 4 years. They were 9-1 last year. They lost to Box Elder in the first round. Last week, losing to Woods Cross 33-21. That game was tied 21-all at the half, and then Woods Cross just kind of took care of business in the second half, and turnovers did in Maple Mountain.
Woods Cross is a very good team that we saw them last year. They went deep into the playoffs last year. They're a fantastic team. So to score 21 right out of the gate is fantastic against Woods Cross.
Well, Jaron Hall, the quarterback for Maple Mountain, his big brother, the quarterback last year, and he's got some shoes to fill. Maple Mountain went 9-1 before losing in the playoffs there, and so it'll be interesting to see them as well. They'll throw the ball around. They'll run it a similar type of style to what Skyview does. Could be a lot of points put on the board here tonight.
Well, he not only threw 3 touchdowns to Jaron Hall for Maple Mountain, but he also threw 3 interceptions. That's something they really got to cut down. Coach Burtonshaw's worked on that all week, I'm sure, to get his kids dialed in, because turnovers will kill you.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back with this one. Maple Mountain at Skyview on the Game of the Week. Stick around. Now both teams coming out onto the field. Skyview coming out on the south end of the field. Maple Mountain coming out on the north end of the field. A little bit different look for the Bobcats this year. They've gone away from the gold helmets.
Well, I will say I'm partial to the gold. I think it looks fantastic. And they've got a little Boise State action with the large Bobcat logo on one side of the helmet. Boise State, if you remember a couple of years ago in their opener against Virginia Tech with a large Bronco on the side. Didn't like that one either, but I hope they play better than those helmets look.
Well, they played pretty well, have the Bobcats in the early going, again losing 34-28 to Timpview last week. Braxton Goddard in that game, and a lot of good things being said by the coaching staff about Braxton Goddard. 25 of 47, 349 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks, but he also rushed for a touchdown, 6.9 yards per carry, 10 carries, 69 yards. And they also say the kid's a leader. There he is, 25. He takes his team on his shoulders, and he showed it last week.
Well, he was passing at a clip of 53.2%. That's a great. If you can get over 50 and start pushing that 60, then you're doing something really, really special on offense.
Well, the Valley Channel's been broadcasting to Cache Valley families since 1989. We're broadcast to homes throughout Cache County free over the air on TV, channel 26.1, and on basic Comcast cable on channel 17. Advertising rates are low. Our service and customer satisfaction ratings are very high. So our program's all about the people, events, organizations, businesses, and activities that make Cache Valley our home, including the local high school sports. Captain's heading out onto the field for the coin toss. Lee Vaughn has starters from both teams.
Well, the offensive starters for Skyview tonight. Number 2, Dane Anderson, rushed for 86 yards last week, and a big part of their offense. 7, Justin Evans. Number 8, Logan Miller. Number 16, Ryan Martin. Number 25, you mentioned Braxton Goddard a second ago. Number 28, a sophomore, Alex McCrae, with 8 receptions last week and a touchdown. Number 51, Colton Durant, another sophomore, starting on the offensive line. Tyler Downs, number 56, Chandler Butler, number 70, Seth White, number 72, and Caden Didrikson, number 78. That's the Skyview Bobcats starting offensive team. And the defense for the Maple Mountain team, they have their work cut out for them tonight. Number 2, Jake Maffey. Number 6, Wyatt Bastian. Number 9, Jordan Williams. Number 10, Ammon Stone. Number 11, Tom Mortensen. Number 13, Nick Shaw. Number 15, Spencer Acey. Number 23, Jordan Thomas. Number 34, Garrett Johnson. Number 44, James Warren. And number 57, Jackson Shinicki. Shinicki, thank you. I was trying to remember that. He told me and I was thinking to myself, I just overthought that. Shinicki. I'm going to write that.
It's easy to remember when, if you have a family friend that had that last name. So.
You cheater.
Now the Bobcats getting set in that south end zone. They're gonna make a little noise down there. They do this before each and every game, kind of getting themselves all wound up. And that's Dane Anderson, he of the flowing locks. To get him started out there, just over 200 pounds, and he is a load.
Yeah, he's a load, and he runs low to the ground. Like I mentioned last week, 26 carries, 86 yards for 3.31 yards per carry, and didn't get in the end zone, but set up quite a few scores. Braxton Goddard, as you mentioned, did rush for a touchdown as well and pass for a couple of more. So good offensive output for Skyview last week. A lot of sophomores playing up for Skyview. I think it's 6 sophomores playing up on the varsity level that actually see some playing time. So they're not only playing well now, but building for the future. The sophomore team played yesterday and beat Maple Mountain 41-14 and had 3 touchdowns called back. So a lot of promise for the Skyview, not only this year, but in future years.
That team won the mini bowl as Little Leaguers a couple of years ago. It's loaded,
yeah, they're
that
pretty
age
good.
group.
A lot of big kids.
Maple Mountain is down near the Spanish Fork, Salem area, down there in southern
Salem.
part of Utah County. If you're not sure where Salem is, you go to Springville and then keep going to Spanish Fork and then keep going. But if you get to Payson, you've gone too far.
Too far. That's right. It's kind of off the beaten path, but it's a nice little
It's
town.
up there by the mountain, up by Elk Ridge and everything. It's a nice little community. I lived down there for eternity for 2 years once. Not in Salem, in a different.
In Utah County.
In southern Utah County.
That's like being in Toledo, Ohio, where I spent a week there one day.
The week there 1 year.
Number 29, Cannon Miner. Kicking.
Well, Maple Mountain will receive.
Number 2 back, Jake Maffey.
Cannon Miner.
29.
I should take that back. I moved down to that part of Utah County because it reminded me a little bit more. I was from up here, and
It was a little more agricultural.
It was a little more agricultural. It's just there were so many BYU flags down there. It was hard for an Aggie.
Just can't stand it. Having a hard time after yesterday too.
Hey, that was a heck of a ball game.
It was a fantastic football game down in Salt Lake. Got every penny was worth out of your ticket. Interesting formation for the Bobcats.
Now that one fielded just shy of the 10. They faked the end around as Miner. He's still on his feet out near the 30-yard line, and he takes a pop. And it goes backwards to the 26. He looked like he was going to advance it up to about the 28, and then bam. He was done.
He's wrapped up by number 36.
You know, on that reverse, they're trying to get the Skyview kickoff team to break out of their lanes and lose their assignments, but a good job by Skyview to stay in their lanes and keep their assignments. That saves it from a big gainer. Still pretty good starting field position at the 26-yard line.
Jaron Hall, 17 of 36 for 241 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, but he also threw 3 picks, and one was returned for an interception by Woods Cross. He starts at quarterback. Try the middle, nothing too fancy to Connor Ellis on first down, a gain of a yard.
Tyler Downs on the stop for Skyview, a big 280-pound junior. Probably call his name a fair amount tonight. It's one thing so early in the season, though, those big boys up front, a lot of them for Skyview go both ways, play offense and defense on the line, and conditioning could be a factor this early.
Hall unloads, and over his receiver's head, the intended man was Jake Maffey. And Hall was in a little bit of, under a little bit of pressure.
Colton Durant in his face gets through nearly unblocked. One of those big sophomores. Great kid, 255, offensive and defensive line, sophomore.
Well, your defensive end, Max Christensen, is a defense. He's also a sophomore.
Yep.
Hall on 3rd down and 9, in trouble. Gets rid of it. He's got a man downfield, but it's over the head of Bailey Bates, and Maple Mountain will have to punt.
Hall does a great job getting rid of that ball. He's in the grasp, and Durant has him around the ankles.
So back to field, the punt. Alex McCray, and it looks like Christian Fife. McCray, another one of those sophomores. We talk about the sophomores for this football team. A lot of them play basketball as well, and they're very good on the hardwood. A little bit of a bright future for the Bobcats. High snap over the head of the punter. And they're going to bring him down at about the 6-yard line. He was way over the head of Brandon Wood. He was able to go back and get it, but he couldn't get outside and get a foot on it. So Skyview will set up shop at the 6-yard line of the Golden Eagle.
Technically not a turnover, but might as well be. Turned over on downs.
They huddle him up. Goddard, number 25, the quarterback. Brings his team onto the field. Behind him will be Dane Anderson, number 2. Anderson, 26 carries for 86 yards last week. Also in the backfield is Drake Oldham. So two backs in the eye.
Don't often see a quarterback with the number 20. One of the 20s.
Anderson back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Skyview ball game, number 2, Dane Anderson. He wrapped up by number 50.
Dane Anderson listed at 207 pounds.
207, and I've got one chart that doesn't give me a height, but this one here does, and he's 5'11", 207. So that's called low center of gravity.
That's called that hurts if you get in his way sometimes.
Goddard in the gun. He's going to roll to the near side. Back of the end zone. He's got a man, and it goes to the front, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver. That's McCray. 3rd and goal.
Braxton Goddard's pass intended for number 7, Justin Evans, incomplete.
Who's that?
And goal.
Skyview sure like to use this momentum and high snap, and defense doing a great job in the first series against Maple Mountain. You've got to get some points on the board, and 3 would be kind of a downer.
Well, Coach Anders said they left points on the field against Timpview in 2 or 3 different goal-to-goal situations, so they want to clean that up this week. And the question is, if they don't get it here, do they go for it on 4th down or do they kick? Goddard pump fakes, got running room, instead he throws off the hands of his intended receiver.
It's Evans.
And it'll be 4th down.
Justin Evans, 165-pound senior.
Incomplete.
And they're going to have to kick it.
So goal to go on the 6, and they don't get a yard. Skyview's offense not going to feel real good about that. 2 passes that probably should have been caught.
Well, the first one a little sketchy. It was low and outside, but that one was definitely a catchable ball. There's Aiden Clark on the kick for Skyview, number 5. You always tell the kicker they got the flashiest shoes.
Looks like Mitchell Coombs, wide receiver, is the holder. Kicks up, and it's right down the middle. So Skyview takes advantage of the turnover and take a 3-0 lead with 10:18 to play in the first period.
Clark Salt Lake Express and the airport shuttle have merged and become one.
So we still have doorstep service, and it's about the same price as it was before. Our focus now is to try to provide as many opportunities for people who need to have the ability to get to and from Salt Lake when they want. They don't want to wait at the airport for 2 hours. They also don't want to be driving around the valley when they get here.
And you bring us to a location that leaves on time.
We'll have another vehicle take you here to save time comfortably, and that main vehicle goes 12 times a day on schedule, both leaving the valley and coming back.
Well, Skyview puts points on the board after this high snap. You know, the punter did a good job just to get back there. Did Brandon Wood and get on that thing and not give up the touchdown. And way over his head. But Skyview, that's the good. The bad, Skyview didn't gain a yard after that. Had a couple of passes, one that definitely should have been caught and for a touchdown. And instead they settle for the field goal in the early 3-0 lead. This time they run the reverse. Skyview staying home, and Minor gets better yardage than the last time around. Well, no, he doesn't. He only gets to the 24.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that reverse every time, or even the fake. You got a full head of steam, and the coverage isn't down yet. You know, let's get upfield, and I can almost guarantee they would have picked up the same amount of yardage, if not more, if they had not razzle-dazzled it.
First and 10 for the Golden Eagles of Maple Mountain. They're going to throw that little wide receiver bubble screen out there to the flanker, and a little bit of yardage, 3 yards. And Moffey finally hauled down.
23, Dylan Smith. Gain of 3 on the play.
Talking to
2nd and 7.
John Newbold, who does the radio for the Bobcats, and he was down at the game last week against Timpview, and he's really been impressed with how fast the Skyview defense is, and how they fly around. They showed it a little bit on that play as Maple Mountain was trying to get to the edge. Skyview slowed that thing down for 3 yards.
Well, Hall hasn't had a chance at the quarterback position to go deep yet and test their DBs. There it is.
Hall's got his man out near the 40-yard line. It's at the 39. There's a flag back at the 33. 12-yard completion. Let's see what the penalty is.
Christian 5. There's a flag on the play.
As they talk about it.
See what happened. That looked like it might be a holding.
Ineligible man downfield. Yeah. So it's coming back. So the first penalty of the game.
Against the offense.
So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be second down and
12?
13, 12, yep. Three receivers to the near side and 2 to the other side. Empty backfield for Hall. Let's see if Skyview brings an extra rusher. Anderson sneaking up. Oh, and Maple Mountain, they're all looking at each other saying, hey, that's what we said it was on.
I think the center didn't know the count. It almost always happens if you see the whole line move except the center.
Both tackles went, and then they looked at each other.
He's like, hey, man, snap the ball. Dane Anderson last week had a sack against Timpview as well.
So now they need to get out to the 34-yard line. They're back at the 17. It's 2nd and 17. Same formation. 5 wide receivers for Maple Mountain. Hall underneath's got his man, and he's immediately brought down by Anderson. That was Jordan Williams.
Complete to number 9, Jordan Williams.
They're still short of the original line of scrimmage, and that's it's a good play call, but it's a difficult play call. It's 2nd down and 12. You got to get a little more yardage to make that 3rd down a little easier.
Oh, it was 2nd and 17.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the penalty. He's got a more difficult play call.
Now it's 3rd and 11 after the 6-yard pickup. Hall looking across the middle of the field, has his man, and he dropped it. He dropped it. Jake Dixon had it right in his hands, had a 1st down, and just squirted out of there.
Boy,
so it's 4th down.
Josh Neiman, number 36, bailed out there because he was beat on that play.
Broken up by number 36, Josh Neiman. Brings up a 4th and 11.
So Maple Mountain goes from a 1st down out near the 40-yard line to 4th and 11. Back at the 24. This snap a little bit better. And Woods kick. Fielded at the 43. McCray out of trouble and on the run. Picks up 2 blocks.
Good blocks.
And he's down at the Maple Mountain 25-yard line. 2 Bobcats peeled back and laid some earhole blocks on some Golden Eagles, and that sprung McCray for the extra yardage.
Boy, and watch the blocks on this kick return. McCray does a great job evading the first man who's down there and gets a hand on him. Cuts back across the grain, and now everybody's got their momentum for Maple Mountain going the other way, and this is a really difficult tackle for most of these guys. Nobody has the angle. You saw a couple of great blocks there just peeled off and finally brought down by number 41, Brandon Wood.
The punter got him. Here's the give to Anderson. Making the first man miss is Anderson and picking up 4 yards.
Bad play, number 2, Dane Anderson. Brought down by number 57, Jackson Chinquist.
Well, 2nd and 6 for Skyview. They lead 3-0 with 7:16 to play. They try another run play coming back the other way to Christian Fife. And he may have even lost a yard.
So far, the run defense at Maple Mountain has been pretty stiff, and they've been put in really tough situations. 1st and goal to go, and then a great run back by McCray.
3rd and 8, Goddard has Anderson in the backfield with him. 4 wide receivers. Maple Mountain is going to have a little bit more real estate to defend because Coombs was offsides.
Yeah. That pass was probably intended for Coombs on the outside.
That's right.
You get a
They're going to throw to me. They're going to throw to me.
Mitchell Coombs, a junior.
So now 3rd and 13. Goddard's lots of time. Going for the home run. Touchdown. He finds Logan Miller, and Miller went up and made the play. 28 yards.
Boy, and this is a nice ball that Braxton Goddard throws. He has a chance to really step into it. Good protection from his offensive line, and he just unloads. And here's the real play right here. Miller goes up and over the defender, number 2, Jake Maffey for Maple Mountain, and pulls that one in. That's a great reception.
You can't cover much better than that.
No.
Maffey's 5'8", Miller is 6 foot, so there's About a 4-inch difference there. The PAT is up and good, and Skyview sitting on a 10-0 lead with 6:22 to play in the first period.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
Well, Skyview on the punt return for McRae. On 3rd and 13 from the 29-yard line, Goddard with a perfect pass. Maffey with great coverage, so it makes it an even better catch by Miller. Here's Maffey, and he looked like he had the edge, and somebody for the Bobcats took out the blocker and the runner.
That was 49, Jordan Peterson, 175-pound senior. Talk about a wedge breaker. He knocked down 4 guys.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
That was exactly what you want.
If Maffey gets that edge, he's got a pretty good return, but nice play out there. And instead, the ball at about the 13-yard line for Maple Mountain. They've been playing with their backs against the wall the entire quarter. Skyview with a short field the entire quarter and a 10-point lead to show for it. Well, they give to Ellis. Ellis loses a couple.
And he thought he wasn't down there for a second, decided to take off, but his knee was down. The umpire right on it.
2nd and 12.
They did not run the ball well last week against Woods Cross at all. They threw the ball around the yard and picked up some pretty good passing yardage, but they did not have success running the ball. Hall over one receiver's head and short of the other. And there's a guy running down the sideline free, and Skyview, I think, is kind of lucky because there was a busted coverage. Now it's 3rd down.
To your point, Maple Mountain rushed for a -5 yards.
Yeah, that's not very many.
Not so many.
3rd and 12 for Maple Mountain. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down. This team 9-1 last year. They have 5 returning starters on offense, only 4 on their defensive line, or on their defense. Part of the problem is a lot of that inexperience comes on their line. Hall's in trouble. Gets out of it. Still on his feet. Look out. Boy, Hall turned that one horizontal, and if he stays vertical, he may have picked up the 1st down. As it was, he's very close.
They're still going to have to punt. Looks like they're about a yard short.
He's picked up by number 36, Josh Nyman.
Maybe 2.
Take a look at the tackles that he breaks here.
Boy, and he's just hanging that ball out there. That's got to finally tucks it away. Give Coach Burtonshaw a heart attack.
So he gave ground. He actually may have picked that up if he would have just kept going vertical. He'll hear about that in film. Woods again, a little bit of a high punt, but he gets on this one, gets it away. And that's Fife around the corner and forced out of bounds in Golden Eagles territory at the 40-yard line. 20-yard return.
Number 6, Christian Clark on the return.
Boy, they're going after that left side of that punt coverage team, aren't they?
Yep.
PR Graphics, one of our sponsors. They create banners, signs, vehicle graphics, vehicle wraps, and graphics for your four-wheeler or snowmobile. We can do any size, color, or design of graphics and customize or recreate to meet anyone's needs. That's it, PR Graphics. 4 wide receivers again for the Bobcats, leading 10-0 still in the first period. Anderson wrapped up behind the line for a loss of a yard.
Number 15, Spencer Acey on the tackle. And Maple Mountain, their interior 7 are playing fantastic.
Go ahead.
Nope.
500-plus yards for the offense against Timpview last week.
Well, a lot of it came in the air. Braxton Goddard had a fantastic passing day. He passed for 349 yards.
It means they still had over 150 on the ground. But they haven't been able to get the ground game going yet. There's the little counter to Anderson. Anderson stood up, leans forward, and it's going to be 3rd and about 6.
Brought up on number 10, Cameron Stone, Robert. Gain of a couple, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. 1 of 2 on 3rd down for Skyview. The one time they converted, it was the 29-yard touchdown pass. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, and Goddard, it looks like he's changing the play. Doing his best Peyton Manning impression. Sans the hopping up and down. Goddard looks, going for the home run again to Miller, and he leaves this one short. He had Miller behind his man, but Goddard didn't put enough on it, and it's a turnover for Skyview.
Goddard's pass intended for number 8, Doug Miller, intercepted.
Put a little more air under that one, and it's an easy 6.
Yeah. That was the wrap last week on Goddard's. Threw 2 interceptions, throws 1 here. Still, it's deep in Maple Mountain territory, but that ball is 2 yards short. Miller's got to come back and try and become the defender, but he just can't get there in time.
Well, he threw it a little inside and a little short. Sure Goddard would like that one back. So Maple Mountain doesn't give up any points, but they're backed up to their own 5-yard line. And that's the best run of the day. The ball comes free. Connor Ellis picks up good yardage on 1st down. He picks up 7.
3rd and the ball carrier, number 3, Connor Ellis. Brought up by the Bobcats, number 36, Josh Nyman. Number 6,
2:47 to play in the first period. It's Skyview 10-0. They've taken advantage of it. A punt snap that went over the punter's head and a big kick return to take that 10-0 lead. Here's the pitch to Ellis as they try the other side, and that Skyview defense getting there in a hurry. In fact, it's going to be a loss of 2.
Trying to beat Skyview to the edges, and you're right, Skyview's got a very quick defense.
Number 56, Tyler Downs.
Tyler Downs makes the play, but he comes out favoring his right arm a little bit.
And he's going over to talk to the trainer on the sideline. He's out now on 3rd down. 0 for 3 on 3rd down for Maple Mountain. 3rd and 6. Fake the give. Hall down the sideline. And Maffey stretches, and it looked like he dropped it.
Oh.
He caught it, and then it hit the ground and bounced back up into his chest. Incomplete. What an effort.
Great effort, and he almost brought that in. And I think the ball may have knocked the wind out of him a little bit. He's still on a knee. It's a nice pass. Great ball from Jaron Hall.
Got it. Lost it.
Yeah, and that's a good call by the official. He's right on it. Of course, the sun is shining right in there, so like a spotlight.
Like the good Lord's flashlight.
That's right.
On the punt for the Golden Eagles, number 41, Brandon Wood.
Well, this is a danger time for Maple Mountain. They have not done a great job covering their punts thus far.
Woods gets that one out to the 46-yard line, and McRae slips out of a couple tackles and then picks up about 5 more yards before he's finally put on the ground. And again, Skyview starting their drive on the Maple Mountain half of the field, but this is the worst starting field position for Skyview, if I recall right. And it's at the Skyview 46, or the Maple Mountain 46. 1:52 to play in the first period.
Certainly not wearing out the sport turf on the Skyview side of the field right now.
Goddard with doubles, 2 receivers to each side, and now a man in motion. He's going to give to him on that little fly sweep. Picking up good yardage is Justin Evans.
Skyview back there, number 7, Justin Evans. Wrapped up on number 34.
Evans picked up 9. 15
15
yards on 6 carries for Skyview.
I don't know what play is coming, but it's fun to watch Coach Barry Christensen. I don't know what signal that was, but it looked like he was honestly drinking a Bud Light really fast. I'm interested to see what play call this is.
Again with 2 receivers to each side. They run the same play, they run it the other way. Fife the ball carrier.
Well,
And Fife's going to lose a yard. Wow, they gave Evans 10 yards on that first run.
boy, and Fife lucky. He's in traffic and changes hands with the ball. That's scary. Take a look here right at the end of the run as he's about to be brought down. Changes the ball right there. Then he changes it again. Right there. A little nervous.
Second and 11 for the Bobcats. Evans in motion. Goddard has Evans if he wants him. Instead, he's going long to a man wide open. Touchdown, Skyview. 37 yards, Goddard to Coombs. Too easy.
Boy, if you're Coombs and Goddard on that, you look and you see each other. One's wide open. You just got to get the ball to him. You got to make the catch. And that's almost as difficult as playing defended.
2 completions, 2 touchdowns for Braxton Goddard. Nobody. You're right.
Totally broken coverage by Maple Mountain, and 6 more for Skyview. PAT pending.
Oh, they got all those receivers out in the pattern. It's like putting marbles in a clothes dryer. How are you going to cover that? 17-0. Skyview extends their lead with 55 ticks on the clock in the first period. Goddard is 2 of 4. 50%, but he's 100% on completions for touchdowns. And it doesn't get much easier than this one. The only reason he waited so long to throw is he couldn't believe his guy was that open. Even then, he left that one a little short, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's really winding up and taking a deep step. He's not getting his back foot through the throw, and that will help him a lot.
Maffey fields it at the 5. Gets outside, hurdles a man, and he's got a convoy. The kicker gets in his way at the 45-yard line, and Maple Mountain with their best field position of the night.
Boy, and Zayden Clark, the kicker there, was a little tentative at first. He was waiting. I'm thinking, there's nobody between him and the end zone but you, son. And he finally sticks his helmet in there and takes a wallop, but knocks him out of bounds.
All 140 pounds of it.
Yeah. See all the coaching staff giving him a hard time.
Yeah, they're down there asking him what day it is, and he said Finland.
Yeah, monkeys.
Maffey and Williams to this side. 2 receivers split to the far side. Bates and one other to the far side.
Great run back by Jake Maffey. He saw that knockdown last time and he decided to hurdle the pile and get upfield.
Bates looks back and the ball's right on him and he can't come up with it.
That's a really tough catch running away over your back left shoulder.
Hall starting this game 2 of 8. Again, last week 17 of 36, 241 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he did throw 3 interceptions against Woods Cross. They give to Connor Ellis. He picks up a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9. 0 for 4 for Maple Mountain on 3rd downs, but they're doing better on the ground than they did last week. 16 yards total on the ground for Maple Mountain in this first period. They had negative yardage last week.
Tyler Downs still not back in the game for Skyview, standing on the sideline. Carson Lamb fills in for him.
Hall's got room, finds his man. It's going to be short of the first down. He threw about a 5-yard pass when he needed 9. It's Williams.
That's a hard thing for the receivers to learn at the high school level is you got to get to the sticks on every one of those routes, especially on 3rd down, 4th down and 5.
At this point, you got to want to try to get your quarterback going.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Give him some success. 3 seconds left in the first period. Maple Mountain does not bring the punt team out. Unless Hall can quick kick it. There's 4 wide receivers. And Hall's going to throw it. He's in trouble. Christensen's got a hold of him. And a huge sack. And Skyview at the end of the first quarter with a defensive stop. And Skyview leads 17-0 when we come back. I'll take a look at this sack by Christensen here. Hall, nothing there for him, and he just starts to go backwards, and Christensen gets a hold of him. Hall just trying to make something happen, and ends up losing 17 yards on 4th and 5. So Skyview will once again start in Maple Mountain territory. They've had 4 possessions. This will be their 5th. They've started every one of them in Maple Mountain territory, and they've scored on 3 of the 4.
Start on the Maple Mountain 43-yard line.
The Maple Mountain defense isn't going to want to buy their offense any hamburgers after this game.
No.
Keep putting them in bad spots.
They did get a little break there, though. They didn't go 3 and out. So
got an extra play or 2. Oldham in the backfield as Anderson takes a breather. Goddard steps up, going deep. And this one looks like it's picked off, and it is.
Telling you, his throwing motion is just not there to put the air on the ball. He's not getting his back foot through. He's throwing off the back foot, and it'll always come up short.
It was intercepted by Cannon Minor. Looked like number 29. And you're right. I mean, it's just look at his as he steps up.
Never gets that foot really through. Just kind of drags it. You got to get that hip through. It's like any sport, racket sport, golf sport, throwing sport. You got to get your hip through. And
he was looking for Logan Miller, and little short and floated a little bit, and Maple Mountain made the play. That's 2 turnovers for Skyview. They still lead 17-0 just starting the second period. Ball on the 5-yard line. Ellis into the line for no gain. 6 carries, 5 yards for Ellis. Hall, 2 carries, minus 10. Actually, minus 6.
Better than last week, he had minus 12.
Well, when we do our stats here for high school, you put the negative yard, you put the sack yardage on the run game.
Yeah.
Anderson's coming on the blitz. He doesn't quite get there, and the ball was tipped at the line. Somebody chipped Anderson right at the last second, or he may have just run right through Hall.
Christensen got the tip on the other side.
You know the big banner that cheerleaders hold and the guys bust through it? That's what it would have happened. All would have been that banner.
Would have shredded right in half, huh?
If somebody hadn't put a little bit of a chip block on Anderson at the last second. 3 of 10 for Hall. And 0 for 5 on 3rd down.
3rd and 11. Deep 3rd down opportunities for Maple Mountain all day long. Nothing really short. They moved.
I'm going to give it to Ellis. Try to maybe catch Skyview off guard.
Got away with early movement there. Braden Swanson pulled out. He was a pulling tackle.
No gain. Maple Mountain didn't want to turn it over down here and get into an even deeper hole. But the Maple Mountain offense just has not been able to get anything going. And in large part, that Skyview defense, they can't get to the edge. Skyview's too fast. And the punting game's been a little bit of a circus. Good snap and a low line drive kick. And it's fielded by Fife. He runs right past the first man and finally gets down inside the 40-yard line. Jake Dixon had a shot at him back at the 49, and he gets to the 38.
Has Skyview started in their end of the field yet?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. And it's only 7. Honestly, it's only 17-0. As many times they've started in great field position, Maple Mountain has one strange positive.
Oh, if you look at Skyview and their numbers, 15 yards rushing, 65 yards passing.
2 interceptions.
2 interceptions, so they got 80 total yards, 17-0 lead. Maple Mountain, on the other hand, -1. They have 13 yards. -1 rushing. There's a give to Anderson. Nothing up the middle, so he bounces outside.
Good patience by Anderson. Sees there's nothing there. The blocks are holding, and he just reads the backside of those blocks and takes what he's given.
See where they spot that. Looks like he picked up 8. No, more like 9.
2nd down and 1. That makes an easy play calling for Coach Christensen.
That's a down to play with.
Yeah, do what you want.
They try another run. Looking for some running rooms. Dylan Smith.
One thing we haven't seen a lot out of the offensive Skyview, they don't run a lot of slants and a lot of interior passing plays. I think looking at their defense, you could really do that because the Golden Eagles love to blitz and put a lot of guys up on the line, a 4-man front, and they're always sneaking up a linebacker.
Loss of a yard by Smith. Well, the way Goddard has left a lot of things short tonight, you kind of wonder if maybe they wouldn't start creeping guys up and not worrying about getting somebody behind you too bad, you know, the deep ball.
That's why you want to run a slant or a short hitch or something like that so he can, because he's got a good ball, it's just a little short.
Goddard on 3rd down and 2. Gives it to Anderson. See where they gave him forward progress to. It's going to be close.
I don't think he got it. Boy, that's close.
First down, number 27.
Well, if they put it on the 28, if they put it just past the 28, right on the 28, they'll have it. They're getting everybody out of the way, and they're going to take a look.
I think they might even measure this one, because I think the nose of it's right on the 28-yard line. And that's what they're going to do.
The concession stand, the Booster Club has a table, and it is there that you can get your Superfan t-shirts.
6 carries, 18 yards for Anderson as the chains come out. The logo shop. Just like our name says, we logo stuff at the logo shop, one of our sponsors.
Stopped there and saw Jason yesterday before I went, or 2 days ago before I went down to Utah, and they had a ton of Utah State stuff.
It's
just short, 6 inches.
A ton of Utah State stuff down at the logo shop.
Go say hi to. They are opening a new location on the north end of Logan, or right by the new Noodles restaurant.
Oh, excellent. So I can go buy new clothes when I have all that noodle stains all over me from eating.
Yes.
So you were a lone Aggie in a sea of Utes.
I was. Well, there was quite a few Aggies down there, actually. We were kind of spread out, though.
They put him in that southwest corner.
Yeah, I was right down on the 10-yard line, 10th row, so I was right in the middle of it. It was not the most pleasant place to be.
4th and less than a yard. Goddard has it. Easy.
That's a nice play.
4 yards for Goddard. That's his first carry. Skyview converts on 4th down. Skyview 2 for 4 through the air for 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. This time they're keeping it on the ground. Anderson tries the middle again. He's down to the 20-yard line, picks up 3. Anderson averaging 3 yards a carry, 7 carries, 21 yards. Goddard on 2nd and 7. We'll give to Anderson again. Anderson down to the 15. 3rd and short, 3rd and about a yard.
Skyview really working the run option today. Last week against Skyview, lots of against Tempe, a lot of passing yards and a lot of receptions with different receivers. Haven't seen a lot of that, especially in the second quarter.
It's going to be 3rd and about 2. Skyview 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. Clock runs with 7 minutes to play in the half. Skyview in control. Goddard underneath has his man. Slipping out of a tackle is McCray. Lunges for the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Skyview. From 15 yards out. So they haven't passed much, but whenever they do, it's for a touchdown. 3 of 6.
All touchdowns.
80 yards and 3 touchdowns for Goddard.
Great individual effort there by McCray. Shed the defender who doesn't wrap up and do very well. And, you know, you just can't push. These guys don't go out of bounds. Nick Shaw tries to shove him, and McCray does a good job getting that ball across the end zone.
3 of 5 for 80 yards and 3 touchdowns for Goddard. And it's 24-0. Skyview extends the lead over Maple Mountain.
The optical industry is changing an awful lot right at the moment. A lot of new advances in lenses and styles of frames. Right at the moment, the most popular thing are big, black, chunky looking frames. For both guys and gals, we help someone look better not only from this side, but from the outside in.
More methodical drive for the Bobcats that time, capped off with the 3rd touchdown pass of the night. 15 yards, Goddard to McCray. And Skyview has started every drive in Maple Mountain territory, and they've scored on all but one. This one fielded on the first hop by Dixon. Dixon stops short of the 15.